everybody, welcome back to my channel, and this is Ladybug, and I thought what we could do is we're going to do some stitching today, and give my hand a bit of a rest from diamond painting. So I'm going to show you, if I can find the paper, what I'm working on. I decided to work on, seeing as I finished the cat in the bushes, so that's all done. And so what I'm going to work on is this right here. If you can see it, there we go. It's a real pretty peacock with red roses. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, would help if I kept it in screen, wouldn't it? And so anyway, that's what I'm gonna work on. Now this is not a new project. This is one I started quite a while back, and I set it aside, and I didn't get back to it. So anyway, it's like I said, it's a peacock with red roses, and I started this in July 2023. It originally came from fan cells, as you can see, and it's an 11 count. Okay, and I started this quite a while back, and this is where I decided to start this time around, because I'll show you real quick here. Move my thread out of the way. I originally started down here in this far corner. Okay, and this is the background here, and this is this is the rose, and some of the other roses here. Okay, but I decided to start up in the upper corner this time around, and that way I basically got a fresh start. So this is what I decided to do. Okay. Oop, let me get my thing here. I gotta clip it and whatnot, like so. And then I've got a just a little hair doodad, and that's how I clip it together, and so we can work on it. And what I'm working on right now is the number 3, which is kind of like a deep dark wine color, almost a dark, real super dark grape, I guess. Anyway, it's 154, and these spots that I've got over here, okay, those are 939, which is number 22, which is the yellow spots here, and it's a 939. They don't have any 310 in this particular one at all, and so I'm going to adjust you a little bit, okay, and that way you can kind of watch what I'm doing. Yeah. And but unfortunately I'm having to do this very slowly because of the hand brace that I'm having to wear. And so I hope you don't mind going real slow. But anyway, but yeah, I thought I'd do some stitching for a change. Give the diamond painting a rest. I think a lot of the headache as I'm getting is because of the diamond painting, and because it is very small, and so I decided to work on this instead. I've had this thing hanging next to my workstation for a while now, and I keep meaning to get to it, but I just hadn't done it. So, but now that I've got the cat in the bushes done, now I can work on this one, at least for a while, right? And then what I'll do is, I'm sorry I'm waving this around, but it's hard not to. And back up here. And so I'll work on this one for a little while, and then I'm sure I'll find something else to work on. I always do. But I thought we'd kind of like do it like a whip and chat and maybe a stitch along. Y'all can stitch with me if you like. Or you can do your diamond painting. It doesn't matter. You know, as long as you're doing something you enjoy. That's all that matters. But I just want to say thank you for coming by and watching my videos, and I hope you enjoy them. You know, without y'all, there wouldn't be a channel, you know. So we'll just kind of buzz on along, and hopefully you'll enjoy the stitching as well as the diamond painting. And, you know, after a while, you know, I've been pounding on those diamond paintings for so much that I think I'm starting to burn out a little bit, you know. So I decided to do a little stitching here, and hopefully I'll get back to the diamond painting, because they'll still be sitting there waiting on me, you know. But I figured I'd do a little bit of this, and whatnot. Come on now. There we go. Yeah, I'm having to do it this way because I can't do it. I can't do the sewing method with my thumb the way it is. So we are having to do it the poke and stab way, you know. But that's all right. As long as it gets done, that's all that matters. Yeah. Yeah, because unfortunately, I don't have a choice. I have to wear this hand brace, it seems like. Yeah. I got Frankie over there at the window. She's looking out the window and watching the birds and that kind of stuff. And then Lily is behind me, laying on the desk asleep right now. Yeah. Yeah, my daughter, she ordered a new Kindle. Her old Kindle finally bit the dust, and so she got herself a new one. I think she said she had heard the one she got was like a refurb, so it's refurbished. And so anyway, she got that today, and she was showing me her new Kindle. It's real nice. It's a little different than the old one she had. And so she's uploading a couple of books right now. So that she says she likes, when she lays down at night and she wants to just read for a little while, she says she can't, it's hard for her to read and laying down in the bed in a regular book. So she's been That's why she likes her Kindle. Yeah. But I do understand because at night I uh, I listen. I do Audible books, and I listen to books. At night. You know, while I'm laying there, and I just lay there and listen. You know, but anyhow, yeah, she's telling me that I can get the Kindle Unlimited uh, for I think it's $12.99 a month, and you can get all kinds of books. You know, and you can borrow from what they call their library, and you can get a lot of the newer titles from what she was telling me. So I may go that route too, and just you know upload put the unlimited Kindle on my new tablet and go that route. They also have, from what she was saying, you also have Audible books as well. And I thought, oh well, now that's a good idea. And so I thought I would. I thought I would look into that as well, because I don't do a lot of watching of television per se. I mostly watch videos on YouTube, and then I watch. Get that one right there. Um, and then I watch. I have Tubi, which is a free app, and I can watch movies that way. And then I've got Paramount. Got that. What else have I got? I mean, I got several different ones, and for entertainment, because we used to have cable several years ago, but we don't have cable anymore. I turned it off because it got so dead blamed expensive. So, and on top of that, everybody else was watching other things like Prime and Paramount, and, other vicious, Hulu and other various different ones, and and so and hardly anybody was watching the actual cable, and that's why I went ahead and decided to turn it off. And that was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And so like I said, I have various different ones that I've got that I watch, right, when I'm in the mood to watch stuff. But most of the time, I just listen to stories. That's what I do. I listen to stories. I put my headset on, and turn the stories on and just sit there and listen and, stitch or diamond paint or work on the quilt that I've got. So, that kind of stuff. I'm listening, but at the same token, I I'm keeping my hands busy at the same time. So, mm, oh, come on. Sometimes you just can't, no matter what you do, you can't. There we go. Can't find that little hole sometimes. Mm. But we're getting there, little by little. Yeah. Let's see if I can. There. It's not quite so dark. All right. Where am I? There we are. And there we go. Kind of adjust you a little bit. But as you can see, it is kind of confettied here. So we just sort of kind of follow where it goes, right? Yeah. But I always like this particular cross stitch. And so, yeah, I broke down and ordered 3 new cross stitches. And when they come in, I'll show them to you. They're really pretty. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe later tonight I might even try to work on my quilts a little bit because I've been kind of putting off working on them to give my hand a chance to kind of rest up a little bit. But problem is I just cannot sit still and sit idle not doing anything. You know, my hands have got to be busy. So, mm, yeah, I think my daughter is, she's going to pick her groceries up tonight around 7, I think she said. And then she's going to make a run um, to Costco's and pick up a lot of bulk stuff that she wants. I said, oh, okay. But I am not going. I am going to stay home. I don't feel like going. You know, because I'm still battling it out uh, with a with a headache. Yeah, my daughter said to take some sinus medicine and see if that'll help. Because the Advil and the Tylenol is not just not cutting it. So she think it might be a sinus headache. I said, oh, okay. Well, I hadn't thought about that. So anyhow, so I'm going to try that here in a little bit and see if that'll work. Yeah, because I think I've got some Tylenol sinus stuff. So I'll give that a try. Because I've had this headache now, persistent headache for about 3 days now. And I'm getting tired of it. I'm ready to say, enough is enough, y'all, kind of thing. So, I had to look up and make sure I still had you in frame. Well, oh, come on. There we go. And, but anyway, so we're doing all right. We just, the weather's not too bad. It's still hot, though. It's still really warm. But the humidity's not as bad as it was yesterday. And, but it's still too warm to sit outside, so I'll be glad when the real fall sets in, so that way it cools down enough to where you can spend a little time outside before the winter sets in. Well, I know I'm not talking a whole lot. I'm just rambling more, trying to, keep you from being bored. But yeah, the one thing I can say about cross stitch is that it's very relaxing for me. When I can get the hole, I hit that little dinky hole. Come on now. It just does not want to cooperate. Fine, I'll go in a different direction then. For some reason, it just didn't want to go through that little dinky hole right there. And, but yeah, I love this peacock. It's beautiful. I love the colors in it. The deep reds and the deep burgundy wine colored colors. It's really pretty. Yeah. Yeah. Come on now. There we go. Yeah, we just keep following wherever the blue leads, and that's where we're going. You know? Yeah. I'm going to show you some of the colors in this thing. Okay, some of the threads. So the threads are absolutely gorgeous. Here we go. Let me show you. This is the colors of the threads. There's purples and reds and some beiges in here, some blues, silvery gray. Just gorgeous colors. I love the colors. Here, let me shake this out a little bit. There we go. Those gorgeous. It's really pretty colors. Got a lot of different purples and, that kind of stuff. Some blues. So it's really pretty. It's got a really nice selection of colors. And so, anyhow, that's the threads that I'm using. And, yeah. But unfortunately, this particular painting or this particular canvas has a lot of confetti to it. So you have to continually change colors. And if you'll notice, do you see the little spots through here? That's a different color that I've had to go around. So I got to come back and get those. Yeah. And get out of the way. But yeah, I love to stitch. This is my first love. I love diamond painting too, but my all-time favorite is cross stitch. Yeah. I used to do the counted cross stitch, but I don't do that anymore because I've gotten out of the habit of it, and because of that, I constantly lose uh, what I'm working, where I'm supposed to be working. I lose count, and that's really hard. And so what I do is I just said, forget it. So I took a lot of my counted cross stitch and gave it away to a lady in Florida, and she does a lot of counted, whereas I don't. And so I said, hey, you know what? I will pass it on. And the only thing I'm interested in is as long as it somebody can use it and will work them, that's great. And I told her, because I sent her a pretty good sized box of them, and I just said, whatever, keep what you want, gift some to whoever if you know anybody that wants some, that kind of thing. And I just want somebody to be able to, to enjoy them because all they're doing is sitting in my stash, just sitting there. So, yeah. I've got one or two of the counter cross stitch still left, but I don't know. I'll probably pass them on to somebody else one day. Well, it looks like we're just about run out of thread here. So I am going to tie this one off and start another thread here. There we go. Okay. There we go. Where did it go? I have lost my needle threader again. I do that all the time. All right. No problem. Yeah, these are the needle threaders I got the other day, and I'm going to use one. There we go. Probably ought to do is order another box of these. Yeah. Put them back together. Oh, come on. They're really thin, and so they're hard to get a hold of. Alrighty. Let's get back to work. Yeah. Now, see, this is the other thread because I've already separated it. Mm. Yeah, this is a 11 count, and so you have to split your threads, and that way you got 3 in each one, because your thread like this that comes like that is 6 strands in there, and what you do is you have to separate them and break it down to 3 strands. What is that? I don't know. Huh. Somebody's got a knot. They put a knot in it. Would you believe that? Yeah, I can believe it. All right. What we do is we trim it like so and save this strand for later. So it's already got a knot in it. Alrighty, we can do that. And anyhow, so you have to separate it when it's a 11 count. You have to kind of separate them into 3 strands each. And that way, you got the right amount of threads. So that way you have the full coverage that you need. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I enjoy doing the stitching. So I hope this isn't too boring for you. I just like to stitch, and I chatter as I do, because I know when I'm videotaping this, you got to you got to listen to something, right? And come on. And I didn't bother with any music today. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But anyhow, so she's going to be leaving and going to to pick up her groceries around 7, and then luckily I have got everything I needed last week, so I don't need to go to the grocery store. And I picked up my prescriptions, so I don't need those. And then what else? I I got a few sodas that I wanted. So I don't need anything at the store. That's what I was telling her. I said, so I am gonna stay my happy little self right here at home. That way I don't have to battle it out with the heat. I don't like the heat. I like the summer and the growing season and all of that, but I don't like the heat. I know that sounds crazy. That kind of stupid, but anyway. I do like the autumn, the late autumn when it's cooling down. Like in October, and then I like the early spring. All right, those are my 2 favorite times of the year. I like the winter too, but not when it gets really, really, really cold and it gets a lot of snow. No, because even though we live in North Georgia, we do get snow. Not much, but a little bit. Yeah, we really didn't get much of a winter last year. I mean, a little bit, but it wasn't bad. It had a lot of cold weather, but we didn't get any. We didn't get a lot of snow. You know, like I said, it got a little bit, but we didn't get a lot. At least we didn't have to get out there and shovel snow, right? That is one thing I do not want to have to do. That's why I couldn't live up in Canada or someplace up near there. I could not do it. Oops, sorry about that. You're way off screen. And I just I don't think I could handle having to shovel snow every year. All right, now come on. There we go. And so I like this area here because we get the seasons. You know, you get the fall and the changing of the leaves and all of that. But you don't get a massive amount of, uh, of snow in the winter. Not usually, let's put it that way. And yeah, we take a drive up on Lookout, and during a um, during the fall of the year when it's all the seed that all the leaves are changing, and it gets really pretty up there. Yeah, yeah, because we live on the southern side, I think, of Lookout Mountain, and it's not that far. It's not that big of a drive, but you drive up there, and the higher you go up, the prettier the changing of the leaves become. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. But we're slowly getting there. We're making some progress. Mhm. Yeah, I'm gonna finish up this one little patch of blue here, and then I think we're gonna bring this video to a close for now, and get this thing uploaded before anything interferes with the internet. Unfortunately, certain times of the day, it's hard to upload anything because you know, the internet gets so busy at certain times of the day around here, and so your internet is intermittent. It's in and out, and it makes it really, really hard to try to upload anything. Oh, come on. And then we get these last 3 stitches right over here. And then we're going to bring this to a close for now. And I'll continue to work on it, but it'll be off camera. Ah, come on. I know it's slow going having to stitch it this way, but it is what it is. Oh, come on, I swear. It's being so stubborn. That's why I wish I could do this like the sewing method, but unfortunately I can't. There we go. Last stitch over here. Okay. And I'm going to take and tie this off. Oh, come on. Ooh. Sometimes it likes to twist. There we go. One more time and then we'll be done. There we go. Alrighty. Alright, we're done with that for now. I'll put this up here. And I will continue stitching further down right in here. And but I'll do that off camera. Alrighty. Well, listen, y'all have a good day. Have a blessed day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I will see you sometime tomorrow. All right. God bless you. Bye-bye.